In Age of Empires Mobile, the most important thing is gathering, and I heard so many of you shout in the comment section down below, can you tell us the best gathering formations in the game? And I've got you covered. Today, I'm going to go over, honestly, 4 formations, which is one of each unit type, and showcase the talent trees and the skills for those marchers to give them the maximum amount of gathering speed, as well as, if you're a free-to-play player, what the minimal requirement is, what you need to kind of kick off your account. Because what's super important with gathering, if you're not known, is gathering commanders will increase the amount of gathering speed per hour you're going to gain for your account. So right now, you can see this Dio-chan march is gaining over 500,000 gold per hour. That is kind of insane, and you can see right now I'm pretty poor from actually upgrading a bunch of new buildings to progress to the next town center, right? So we really do care about actually gathering speed, and if we compare this to my main PvP match that I'm leveling up, it's only 170k, right? It's almost a third, if not half, the amount of all my other gathering commanders, right? If we could look at any of these marches, like the Darius, like the Cleo, or even the King Derek, all of them are insanely high percentage. So what we're going to do, if you've not checked out my Gather Like a Pro guide, it will pop up right now. Click that video. It will teach you all the beginner basics so you understand what we're talking about right now. But with that said, let's actually showcase off these 4 formations for your account. So when it comes to these formations, I'm going to be making it very easy to understand because we're going to be running 4 gathering formation lineups with 1 match that you're going to be working on. So for argument's sake and for this example, I'm going to be working on my Y Sunshine, Queen Syndiok, and Theodora Tactician Archer March, right? I'm going to level these guys up over time from killing tribesmen, and at the same time, I know I want to work on this gear, skills, everything, right? This is the main match I'm working on. So that's going to be on my 5th slot. If you're in war, this could be different. You could put your main march here. So for me, it could be my warrior archers instead. And then when it comes to my other 4 marches, it's all gathering, all gathering. If you're a bit of a spender, you can change this, right? You could run 3 gathering marches with 2 main war marches. You could run maybe 2 gathering marches with 3 war marches. It is up to you. It is all subjective at the end of the day. And you know your account better than I do, right? We need to try and make this as inclusive as possible. So with that, let's break down the 4 formations that you're going to be needing for your account. The first formation is going to be King Derek with Leon Wayan Zia, and this is going to be your Gathering Archer Commander setup. So all of these commanders are all archer based. Yes, you're not going to have a unit speciality, but you don't really care about that. All you care about is all 3 commanders being archers and being a gathering based commander. The next one is going to be Dio-chan with Narcissus and Queso. This is going to be your cavalry gathering setup. Your next one is going to be Cleopatra, Nino, and Bardasse. This is going to be your infantry setup. And then for your pikeman and final setup, it's going to be Darius the Great, Phineas, and Leo. And as you'll notice, with all of these beautiful gathering setups, it's 1 legendary commander to 2 epic commanders. So this is super free-to-play friendly for everyone. So anyone can get access to this, especially with the King Derek, especially with potentially Dio-chan, and no Cleopatra everyone has. And then Darius the Great, you will unlock through exploration, which is the scouting mechanic, right? So really easy to observe, right? So now, why is this important? If you've noticed, all of my commanders are above 100% gathering speed. So the Darius the Great one, 100%. 126 for the Cleo March. For the Dio-chan, we're on 131%. And then for the King Derek, we're on 126. So that's all of them. And now what we're going to do is break down each of these individual marches so you guys know exactly what skills and the talents that you're going to need for them. So before we dive into Darius the Great and Pikeman, Gathering, and Build, there's 2 rules you need to understand before we dive in. First rule, all these commanders that we have access to will have gathering skills attached to them already, meaning they're the only skills that you need to level up, guys. Don't waste your skill points on any other skills unless your plan is to use that hero elsewhere. Argument's sake, Darius the Great here, even though he's a terrible hero, if you choose to use him as a pikeman or a cavalry main in your main legendary setup as a supplement until you find a better hero, then you might need to upgrade the other skills. Apart from that, if you're not doing that and you use them only as a gathering hero, only upgrade the gathering skill. The second rule, again, because these are gathering heroes, do not waste your epic or legendary skills on these heroes. You might be able to get away with the epic skills, to be honest, on the epic heroes, but I still wouldn't recommend that, just in case you might need those for a legendary hero in the future for one particular skill for your build, right? So with that, we've kind of explained all of this. What we're going to do is go through the skills and talents for the marches and explain, if you're a spender and a free-to-play, what your build will look like. So as a free-to-play player, your build looks exactly like this on screen. Your Darius the Great is going to be basically at level 1 on your skill here. It's going to be level 10 here and level 1 across. Once you've kind of upgraded your marches, you will have a level 1, level 20, and a level 1 Darius the Great for your setup. When it comes to Phineas, this is exactly the same. So we've got a level 1 main skill, a level 20 skill here, and a level 1 skill. Again, this is maximizing the amount of skill points you're going to be needing, and it gives you the most amount of resource gathering you can have, which is 12%, without going busting your balls out for the level 30 or higher. Same for Leo. Leo's going to be the exact same, 1, 20, and 1. So that's basically how the first rule is implied. You don't need to, waste skill points on these skills because you're just not going to be needing them, unfortunately. Now, if you're a spender, your build can look a little bit different. Because if you're a spender in this game, obviously you're going to have more access to legendary skills and obviously Empire coins. So if you have, again, your main war marches, your main PvP, your Miyamoto's, your Mulans, your Richards, if all of those marches are completed and you're not working on them, you've got the skills, you've got everything else, then you can unlock some gathering skills. And the one gathering skill you're going to unlock for Darius the Great is going to be supply transportation. Just give you some nice gathering speed, and just for a little bit of icing on the cake, if you were leveling up a pikeman march like Richard I, well, this is using higher troop load, meaning you've got less troops required to actually field this for the same amount of resources that you was once gathering. So that means, again, less troops needed, lessen the burden, meaning more troops for your main PvP march. When it comes to Phineas, you can go increase into your more skills, and he has the load boost, exactly the same skill, 10% increase on your gathering, and then increases the load by 6%. And then if you go to Leo again, more skills, has prudent handling. This is going to increase, again, 10% on your gathering speed, and then 3% extra resources on successful gathering. At the moment, I will say, if you're a free-to-play player, I do apologize. I don't know if this is worth unlocking for you guys. It's 1,750 Empire coins in order to unlock this. And that is honestly Empire coins that could have gone to a legendary advent that you would have needed for your account. So I'm going to speak to some guys and give you more advice on that, but I do want to still showcase the skill builds that you would be running on all three commanders. Now, with that completed, we will go over the talent page. The talent pages are really easy to understand. Just for my page all the way around here, you want to put 2 points in the gathering speed for 10%. And then when we come to Intrepid Warrior, this is where we're going to start gaining, honestly, a lot of the bonuses. I made a little bit of a mistake, and it's fine, but I will rectify it on my other builds. But you'll see here, you want to come into the right side, reduce the damage taken, and then get the 5% gathering speed and the 5% extra resources from successful gathering From here, you would be gaining the extra defense, and same again on this other side. Once you've done that, you will unlock cut down into the strength in numbers, and at level 56, if your commander is there, you will put 1 point over here and 2 points into gathering protection. The reason why we're having this and level 56 is a really important threshold for gathering commanders. It is a really big milestone for the first level. Level 56 allows you to save, technically, 10% of dead troops, as well as 5% of gravely wounded troops, which is amazing. Having them all converted into lightly wounded, honestly, lessens the burden of any of your troops that you're going to be wasting if you get attacked by other men, right? Other players out there on the open field. If we jump out of here and we look at Fannius, Fannius is going to be, honestly, the exact same. So if you look here, we've got the 10% build, right, on the gathering speed. We come down and you can see now the correct build. So you can see how I've got the 5% extra bonus. We've got the 5% down here. And then we've got the 10% extra defense when gathering. If you wanted to, when you're level 56, you would go and get your extra hero damage. And again, increase that troop defense by 5%. Eventually moving down into strength in numbers, putting that 1 point into here, then 2 points into gathering protection. Again, if you get more points and you start leveling up these heroes, what you'll be doing is finishing off with the 2nd point into here. Now to finish it off, Leo, the 3rd build, exactly the same as we've just shown as Fannius. Just to emphasize, this is the L that you really need to be taking when it comes to gathering. And then coming down into strength in numbers and coming down to these 2 blobs. Now, to finish off this section and to move into the next formation, what I will say and give you guys advice, because obviously these heroes are not level 120 yet. And again, you will hit level 120 at once upon a time when you obviously start leveling up these guys. All you're going to be doing is aiming for the gathering speed bonuses and again, any loss of troops when it comes to it. So here on the right side, we've got gathering troops defeated, reduce the losses, which we're going to take. Same with this down to protection. Come down into crushing blow now. We have the gathering speed by 5%, which is really, really nice for our account. We have the 5% again defense, which is really good against people trying to attack us. Over here, when gathering troops are defeated, reduce their gravely wounded by 5%. Again, even better for us. When gathering troops are defeated, increase their retreat speed by 10%, so they do come to us even faster. So you can see here, you want to take all of the utility in the crushing blow, and then when you come down to the bottom side, you can get more gathering speed down here, and again, more resources for your account. So it's really self-explanatory when it comes to those talent builds. So that is the very first one. We've gone over the Darius, Fannius, and Leo Pikeman build. We've gone through all of the skills and the talent pages for them. If you're wondering what Signet ring to run, don't worry, I'm saving that till the very end of the video, so check it out for the Signet rings when it comes to gathering. So the next match we're going to be looking at is the Cleopatra Infantry Gathering match. And this one, as you'll notice, has a Signet ring, but we will talk about that a little bit later on. And this is the spender build. So if you are a bit of a spender and you want to kind of waste some coins, this is a good way of wasting some coins, like I've kind of explained in the first rule and the second rule. But what we're going to do is showcase the build, right? So the skills that you're going to need. If you're going to only max out the gathering skill, all you're going to need to do is the middle one, right? Efficient harvest. This will give you 21% extra resource gathering speed, which is really nice. When we look at her other skill, you get Sowing Discord, which is all about launching normal attacks, which is a cavalry buff. If you're a spender, like I've explained many times, you can unlock Windfall. This is going to give you more increased gathering speed and then 3% extra resources. So it's just all about that extra resources for me, right? And again, if you're a free-to-play player, please do not unlock that skill. I'm only showing it to you guys in the current guide. If it applies to you, you know this information. Going to Nino now. Nino and our Baldassi is following the complete free-to-play player guide. So we got level 10 on both of their basically gathering skills. When you go to their second skill here, you could, again, if you're a bit of a spender, or maybe later down the line, if you are a, free-to-play player, 1,750 coins. Again, Empire coins is going to get you 10% extra gathering speed. And then, which is really important, it converts 10% of any gravely wounded units, again, if you get caught by those farm killers, at the end of the battle back into lightly wounded, so you don't lose as many troops. And I think a lot of people would really like that. So that is a good little skill there on Nino. Going to Baldassi, Baldassi has the same skill as our good old friend Cleopatra. It's just not as good. We're going to get a 3.07% extra resources, but only 10.2% increased gathering speed. So that is our build for our free skills on our heroes. When it comes to talent pages, guys, it's going to look exactly the same as pretty much all the others. Apart from this build I've gone here, it's a little bit more aggressive when it comes to the damage, but we've still got the 10% gathering speed. We've got all the good gathering successful resources here. We've got the extra speed again. And then you'll notice I've got the defense for our gathering speed. And then coming down, we've got the 1 and 2 setup because she is, as you'll notice, level 56. So we're able to do that for this setup. Going into Nino's Nino build, again, very similar to hers. We've got 1, 2, 1, 1, and it allows you to look down into strategic preparation. And then you would just put 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, and then 2 points. And then when you complete it and you start to get these extra skill points, all you got to do is put 1 point into hero damage, 2 points into this, or 1 point into the increase your hero defense by 5%. And you can put 1% into here again. You're just trying to unlock the strength in numbers area. That's all you're trying to do here. But the 1 point I would say is get the 5% defense. It does synergize with the right side, giving you that basically 15% in total. And then, like we've done before, you'll get strength in numbers and move across to the right side. Going to Baldassi, he has pretty much the exact same build as I've just explained. So do the exact same thing as I've just explained on this hero. Make sure you're getting those extra troops. So that is the infantry covered. We've got the infantry gathering build there. So you guys know if you're a free-to-play player, your build will look a little bit different. You won't have this win for skill, but you will have the exact same setup looking like this on your Baldassi and your Nino until you upgrade them a little bit later on. So now we have the Dio-chan build, and this is arguably the best hero, again, in the game when it comes to gathering. This hero does an absurd amount of gathering speed because her main actual skill does increase the gathering speed and for X amount of resources. So right now I have 1.2 million resources gathered. Whenever I gather that amount of resources, I get 1.5 times as many. So I get basically half of that added on, which is really cool. You do get, if we look at more skills here, actually double gathering bonuses. So as a free-to-play player, you can actually just level up both of these skills and her main skill, and you're going to get an absolute truck ton of gathering speed. However, if you are a bit of a spender, again, and you want to maximize on the amount of resources that you're gaining, I would recommend getting Windfall just to get that increased 22%. It gives you obviously a flat 10% basically bonus increase, which is really nice. And then you get that 3% extra resources, which really does synergize with Dio-chan's first skill there, which is really good. So you can see here we've got these skills all covered. These are all gathering skills at the end of the day, right? When you are looking at your Narcissus and Queso, it's the exact same rules as we've explained on our Epic Heroes, guys. We've got them to level 10 on those two skills. If you're a bit of a spender and you're not free to play and you're looking for stuff, you could go for Fast Retreat. It's, again, it reduces the amount of lost units and increases the retreat speed when you're fighting out, which is really cool. 10% extra increased speed. We're happy to see that. Going to the Queso, going into his skill and not his talent page, we will be able to also get here Prudent Handling, which is a mini version of Windfall. So 10% speed with that 3% extra resources upon successfully gathering. Really, really, really nice, right? So that is nicely, swiftly moved over. That is going to be your Cavalry gathering match setups for the skills. Now, to finish it off with the talent page, you'll see my talent page here is more looking like what you want. You're going to have down here getting the beautiful reduced damage taken, get that increased troop defense, go increase the troop damage, get down into strength in numbers, and then I went to the left side to increase the gathering speed on my Dio-chan, but then I would be moving to the right side to get the increased gathering rate, and then you can move down and keep moving. So honestly, I don't want to go too crazy on these talent trees. If you want me to go more in depth on talent trees, let me know in the comment section down below. But I don't want these videos to go too crazy in depth. But you'll notice that talent page is really easy to follow. If you look at Narcissus, he has a might-based tree. If you never noticed, he's a red-based tree because he's a warrior. Very easy to follow. 10% here on the gathering speed. Move down, grab your intrepid warrior, do the beautiful L like always, and then you're going to go and upgrade hero damage, get that defense for yourself, get yourself extra damage, and it should unlock strength in numbers. And then you're going to go down the right side, get that gathering protection that you guys need, and then keep moving down like we've kind of explained before for any extra gathering. So that is his build. Go to Queso. Queso is exactly the same. So just to showcase, both of these guys have the exact same build. So if you go down here on Queso, scroll down, you'll see it's the exact same L. So I'm not going to repeat myself for what I've just said, right? So that is all done. We have gone through the cavalry build. So let's move on. So the final gathering march to talk about is going to be the King Derek archers. So as we kind of explained, this one is a bit more up there, as you'll notice. So we've got the 10 levels on the resource skills on our, gathering marches. My Leon I've been working on, so you can see I've been working on him and we can finish it on video. So here's the level 20 skill, and I'm not going to go any further, and I'm going to save these points now basically for future PvP commanders. And then when we've done those commanders, I'll come back and work on my Wanzia and get his skill to level 20 as well, right? But you can see we've followed the exact same trend. Keep these guys, only max out your resource skills. And then your King Derek only has one resource skill, guys. He does. He only has this one skill. So you only have to worry about that if you're a spender. Again, if you're willing to spend your Empire coins or your legendary skills, you can get Windfall here. This will increase all resources by 22% and extra resources upon successful gathering by 3%. So again, it gives you an absurd amount of extra resources for your account. When it comes to the talent pages, it's as simple as we've kind of explained before. I will just scroll down and showcase here what you're going to be looking like. So you can see how we've got the extra defense, and then we're going to strengthen numbers and across. If we look at Leon, Leon's got the exact same setup. So we go across around here on the yellow side. We've got 10% here. Moving down, we've got the L as well as the little kind of left side. And then moving down, strengthen numbers, and moving to the right to reduce the death again. So easy builds, honestly, guys, when it comes to gathering. I'm just going to showcase this just so you guys can see how easy these builds are. And that is honestly all of the 4 formations, skills, and the talent pages all explained for a free-to-play player and a spender. So again, to summarize this whole area off and this whole section off, if you are a free-to-play player, completely free-to-play player, all you need to do, guys, is work on your march like I've done here on the Darius the Great. You only need to level up the resource skills for your main march, and then obviously for your 2 other guys in the back. And then if you're a bit of a spender, then you might have the luxury, like I do, to actually unlock some of these skills to give yourself a little bit more of an edge, to get more resources into your account to grow faster. So that's up to you if you want to do that. Again, it's all subjective. You can choose to do these or not when it comes to unlocking skills, but I've given you that advice throughout today's video. Now, to finish off the whole point, like I've kind of explained, signet rings. There is some signet rings that you want. There's only 2 major signet rings that honestly help you when it comes to gathering. And the first one's going to be the Ring of Violet. This is going to increase your troops' gathering speed. And again, you can upgrade this. So each time you upgrade this, it's going to go into max rack effects. 20% extra gathering speed for free, and that's just kind of added on. So just to showcase that. And then the next one is going to be your Ring of Sunflower. This grants you 2.7.6% extra resources. And if you go to the details and max this bad boy out, you get 12% extra resources for completely, gathering a successful node. So those are the two Signet rings that you're going to need. I would again recommend, when it comes to your Signet rings for your gathering marches, do not level them up. You can see mine are not leveled up, and I plan not to level them up because you're going to be using that material to obviously upgrade more important rings that you're going to be needing for your account, and obviously in the long run. And I don't want you guys to waste your investments and then get upset that you don't have any materials when it comes to upgrading your Signet ring, right? So that is, guys, the Gathering Formation Guide. I've gone through the best 4 formations that you can be running right now, one for each unit type in Age of Empires Mobile. Explain all of the skills, explain the talent pages, and everything that you need. So hopefully you can go on your adventures, guys. You can hit that 100% bonus and start gathering a little quicker and get progressing faster and get that T5, T6, and T7 unlock for your account. So if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. I'm here, like always. Smash a like, a comment, and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, here on Age of Empires Mobile. It's been a pleasure, like always, guys. Until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.